What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Therapist Logan Reacts. Today we got a new song, new artist. It's a song that I came across on TikTok and I checked it out. It's a song that I've really been rocking with. I just like the vibe, I like the energy, I like the thing, and I just want to kind of give it a therapist breakdown because it's an artist I haven't heard from in a while. And I think that this individual has been speaking a lot of facts, and I think they have some good messages that they've been sharing online and kind of with their platform that they got right now. So I just think it's really cool. And that song is Bad Fruit by Jean Dawson, featuring Earl Sweatshirt. Sorry, I want to say Earl Sweatshirt. He's tough. He's smooth. I heard a little bit about Jean Dawson, and again, this song just hits. I think it's smooth. But let's jump right into it. If you haven't heard this, and this is the first run through, let's run it up. I have the lyrics on the side just so that way we can break them down just a little bit more if needed. Okay, let's get into it.
I'm just a little volcano in the nighttime. I can see the world burn under my fingertips. I'm just an apple I'll fall when I turn right. Hit the floor hard, I was never picked.
Okay, so I'm just a little volcano in the nighttime. So something in the nighttime kind of consumed by darkness typically. In a little volcano, it's like I got a little light to share with you. At least that's where it kind of comes from. It's like, and I can see the world burn under my fingertips. So being able to have this world, control of the world, that's kind of a dynamic that's going on there, and just like seeing the world burn, like seeing the creationism kind of die in that sense. And then here I think is what jumps out to me the most in that little verse. I'm just an apple, I'll fall when I turn right. I hit the floor hard because I was never picked. So there's that, again, that feeling of like, I don't know, I get a sense of like worth and like self-esteem, like not being there, and like because of the things that I've been through and like the things that people have made me feel, like willing to see the world burn because of it. Kind of makes me think of like superhero and supervillain, and like there's that dynamic of like we label a supervillain because they'll burn the world for one person when the superhero would sacrifice one person for 1,000, and like the supervillain's like made out to be the bad guy when in reality it's like, I think you're worth just as much as the world is. And it's an interesting dynamic, interesting perspective that's kind of going on. At least that's what kind of comes to mind there. So I'm just curious again, just something that's jumping out right away. The song's just beautiful, like instrument wise and everything.
Tornado in the sunshine. Click your heels, run on golden bricks. I'm just a little moon running from the sunrise. Make the waves crash, hide behind my only friend.
So this one jumps out a little me a bit more. So now he's kind of describing like kind of being a form of chaos or opposites in an environment that doesn't really fit what's kind of needed. So I'm just a little tornado in the sunshine. Tornadoes are typically involved with storms and stuff. So like those are, again, two very conflicting things going on. And then click your heels, run on golden bricks seems to be kind of like the Wizard of Oz component, kind of like a tribute to that. And with that being said, it's like there's a dream aspect kind of happening to it. Again, that confliction, the dreams, how I see my life, like where I'm at. I'm just a little moon running from the sunrise. It's like being in an environment and kind of either negating it or running away from it or just not fitting in essentially, and just like, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna go against the grain kind of bit. So like there's like kind of just wanting to kind of move with that. So just cool play on words. I really like that kind of energy that he kind of gives during these verses. Definitely kind of cool concept of like just kind of going against the grain, being different, and just like being seen as the bad fruit and being seen as different. Because people, especially in today's society, like we see different, and people think bad, and I deal with a lot of individuals who talk about, I just want to be normal. I just want to be normal. And like, it's, as a therapist, I explain to them, like, there really is no such thing as normal. There's baseline to a degree, like that, what I think they're explaining. But like normal and normalcy is just like a facade. It's not a real thing. And like, it's again, because we want to be seen and accepted and socialized. So like, that's what they're saying when they're saying, I want to be normal. I want to be accepted by people, and I want to be connected with people, and I want to be seen as human. I want to be seen just as a person. But we label it this idea of normal, and then like it gets that like, oh, if you're not acting normal, if you're not behaving normal, if you're not thinking normal, then you're wrong, you're in bad, like, and so like it's okay to think differently, it's okay to do things differently, what I mean, as long as it's not that expensive of another human. And it's just, again, just like these typical connotations that get labeled with different things. It's just definitely something to be cautious of. And what I mean, just because something's different, like, explore it with curiosity. Don't explore it with judgment right away. You never know what you can learn from it. And that's kind of been my motto for my life, and that's helped me explore and helped me become an even better therapist, because it allows me to come to the therapy session with a non-judgment, allows me to come to a therapy session and create a judgment-free zone, because I'm genuinely curious. I'm genuinely curious about what makes people tick, how people think, react. What I mean, even if I don't agree with it, that's still like a collection of people's decisions and experiences that led to them where they are at that moment. And what I can do is to help them see different perspectives and grow in a productive way that will help them better their situation, is kind of what I'm there for. So it's definitely something to be cautious of, like, yeah, we're taught a lot of things, but it's okay to question certain things too. You know what I mean? Like, approach stuff with curiosity. That's definitely like number one thing. Like, if you're passing judgment, typically that's a projection on your confidence in yourself or whatever you got going on. So if you feel like you're judging a lot of people, judging other people, judging yourself, like, there's a disconnect between that self-love or love for others that isn't right there right now. And I think that's kind of the main focus that should be worked on before, again, you can kind of explore stuff with others. I can see this song being like a movie.
Sign on some real shit, but I still trip. Hover every line on some real shit. It took a long time for me just to feel this. Working overtime, faking like I'm fine, showing diligence. Acting like you hard, but you still a bitch. Messing with my mind, what the pills did.
So, I love how Earl Sweatshirt came in like crazy hard right off the bat with lyrics. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's talked about like anxiety and like just overthinking, existentialism. Like, I'm just like starting to kind of traverse kind of like his perspective, his different things that he talks about like online and stuff. And I very much value his frame of mind and his mindset. Like, very philosophical components, like he's very funny dude too, which I appreciate. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's always a great great aspect to being able to have serious conversations but still act goofy and like add a sense of humor to it. That's definitely something I value very much. But again, just to reflect, like I read every sign, but I still trip over every line. It took a long time for me just to feel this. So like, it sounds like he's just talking about like having dealt with so many different things and like he reading every sign, like he's seeing so much and like he overthinks, he's overstepping, or just over analyzing kind of every component that he's going through with somebody. And it took a long time for him to just feel this. It's like he has his own journey with like the emotional component, and like that's very difficult, you know what I mean? Like as humans, we're just trying to figure it out. And sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes we don't figure it out right away. And he's able to reflect like, damn, it took me a long time to like feel this, like feel like what's going on inside me and like actually feel it. Because there's one different thing about feeling it and it taking over you, or like also like giving yourself the space to actually feel what's going on. Working overtime, faking like we're fine, showing diligence, acting hard, but you still a bitch. I think that line, I just like that line personally. I think that's funny. Like, I think it's like, you know what I mean? It's like reflecting on the good that he's doing, but it's like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still just like acting like it's crazy. Like, you don't see like the work I'm putting in. It's just like, it's just interesting. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a really cool lyricist, and he's just reflecting again, like what he's been through, what he's thought about, how he's trying to work through stuff, and how he's trying to, like, you know what I mean, be empathetic towards other people, showing diligence, like, but faking like we're fine. You know what I mean? If you're faking stuff in life, like that's a difficult thing to kind of do. You know what I mean? Like, and then you get mad when things don't go your way, and so like there's a fakeness to it. Like, you know what I mean? That's a hard reality to kind of explore, for sure. And then messing with my mind, what the pills did. So it sounds like, again, there was some maybe substance use that kind of occurred and just like messing with my mind, whether it's like a figurative sense or like really what the pills kind of just like did make me think about, or maybe there was a reliance of some sort. And again, that can make it difficult to interact with how, like, you know what I mean, like just being with people and the social compatibility of it. Because again, with substance use and addiction, like it's really difficult to have that connection with others, because a lot of bridges do get burned in that scenario, and it's hard to kind of come back from that, you know, and especially what drugs and narcotics and all these other things can do to your mind, like even hallucinogens. It can really twist some things, twist some perspectives, create derealization or disassociation, and there's just all those components can be really hard to kind of fight back from and explore in a more productive way, just because, again, like your brain is so important, and if you utilize things that can be so detrimental to it, it can really screw it up for a little bit. But it doesn't break it all the time. There's definitely way backs. It's just more work you got to do.
Niggas press my line, hit the kill switch. Niggas dying in the summertime, but I never trip. It wasn't one of mine. I'm heaven sent. In my mother's eyes, everything I did, kinda undefined. Real deal, real spill, falling out the vine. Man, I was a little kid, living off a vine. The sun said it was my time, I ain't done yet.
Volcano, give me space. With my hand out the window, right the way.
And just like that brings us to the end of the song Bad Fruit by Jean Dawson and Earl, Sweatshirt. I like this song a lot. I've been playing this nonstop for the last like 4 or 5 days, like just repeat, and just, I don't know, it definitely evokes like a strong emotion in me. I'm still trying to figure out what that is. I just think it's one of those really good songs you kind of come across, and I typically find those online, and I definitely came across it on TikTok. So I will shout out TikTok for that. TikTok does be putting me on some music sometimes. If you haven't listened to this yet, if you like the song, make sure you go subscribe, or you add it to your playlist. Let me know in the comments down below. Like, what did you think of this song? Like, what stuck out to you? Where did your mind go with some of the lyrics? You know, like, I'm curious to see your guys' perspective too. You know what I mean? Like, my perspective isn't one fits all kind of thing. I kind of, again, I see it from a therapist perspective, but if somebody else sees it from another perspective, I'm always willing to like listen and learn, because like, you know what I mean, the more perspectives the better. So it's always good to have a good conversation. So make sure you leave a comment down below. I'm really curious to see what y'all think about this song. This is a song I really like, you know what I mean? So I just think it would be cool to like hear if y'all like this song, or if you don't like the song, why you don't like the song. But regardless, please give a like if you like this video, and make sure to subscribe, because that helps my channel grow, and I appreciate it, each and every single one of you guys. And make sure you stick around for the next video. Make sure you leave a comment too if you want to see me do something specific, or there's another song that you've listened to. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next video.